Step back, quick, check back, got my name up, now they text back. I'm so fucking greedy, I sit back like where the rest at. Welcome, people. Welcome, people of the universe. I am back. I know it's been a long time, but I am back, and I'm actually doing videos again. And I actually been inspired to do videos thanks to this video right here. It's called "Welcome to the Internet" by Bo Burnham. For people that are following me, that don't know who Bo Burnham is, he is a comedian. He is a performance artist. He is a director. He is multifaceted. Uh, Actor. Bo Burnham is a musician. He's multifaceted. That guy is extremely talented. Um, I've been aware of him for a minute, since like the words era. Uh, I know I keep saying, no, I gotta stop that. But yeah, words. That was my introduction to him, and so I've been following him since. For context, because taking him out of context is like one of the worst things that you could do. Taking him out of context is one of the worst things that you could do, right? So, what's going on is that Bo Burnham, he suffers from anxiety. His anxiety had him have panic attacks on stage. It got to be a little bit too much for him, so he retired from stage performing. He went on to direct and everything, and that was in 2016. He decided that after he worked on his mental health, he decided that he is good enough to go back to perform in January 2020. And as he was getting ready to, as he was prepping the show, creating material and everything, COVID happened. All right. So with COVID happening, he had to, you know, work around everything. One of the things about that is that the context of this video is he's inside. He's like how everybody was in 2020. He was stuck inside. He still is talking about his declining mental health. You'll hear that in all of this. If you haven't seen it, Inside is on Netflix. It's a whole hour and a half, I believe, of music, performances, sketches. Like it's a transformative piece. I know a lot of people try to say it's a transformative piece. This guy is freaking amazing. He is a genius, entirely too smart for his own good. Uh, but out of all the songs that he has, and I mean, I love I love all of them. But this one's the one that got me hooked. It's called "Welcome to the Internet." You'll see him in this room. You see it, and I'll break everything down because this is a breakdown. I've seen this video enough that I can't even do a reaction video. I'll just break everything down. So, and for people that don't know, no, I'm not a videographer, cinematographer. I'm not really a musician. I do write a little bit, but I'm not really a musician. I don't know how to play guitar or anything. I've been throughout this whole COVID era just in a constant state of learning. And two things that I have come across is film theory, music theory, all of these things, the tropes, ideas, and everything else. And I've really obsessed over that. And honestly, it prepared me to look at this video in a completely different light. So that's one of the biggest things that made me obsess over it. So without further ado, Bo Burnham, welcome to the internet. Here we go. And I'm going to be stopping it along the way, just breaking little small things down. So people don't understand what's going on because if taking them out of context is just really a horrible thing to do. But yeah, this is welcome to the internet. Here we go.
Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found. We've got
All right. So let me start off with this. He comes right in. Welcome to the internet. It sounds a little uppity. Sounds like a carnival, right? He sounds like he's at a, you're at an amusement park hearing carnival music and everything. Um, Two things that are happening is as soon as he starts, the camera starts to zoom into him slowly, right? This is the drawing in. But one of the other things that he's doing is that he is looking at you. And I want to get these two things out of the way off rip because if I don't, it's going to be constant stopping and pausing and everything. So off rip, you want to notice that he is looking directly at you while you're being pulled in into what he's saying. He doesn't take his eyes off you really. So it's like giving you that definite a purpose look. Like there's two things that a person that looks you in the eye shows confidence in what they're saying, which makes you believe in what they're saying. And the other thing is that it is disarming. Because as soon as somebody stares you in the eye, a lot of people tend to look away because they're uncomfortable. But it's disarming in the fact of their barriers of whatever confidence that they've had with just somebody looking at you in the eye and they are definite in what they're saying. A lot of times, what happens is that you relent. You so it is off putting but it's a trusting sense, but it's an alarming sense. Like you don't know how to feel about it. So I want to start off with that just quickly. Just want to get into that. So, and I do want to talk about the lyrics and everything, but this is Welcome to the Internet. I'll break down the lyrics a little bit at the end, but I want y'all to just see what's going on.
Mountains of content, some better, some worse. If none of it's of interest to you, you'd be the first. Welcome to the internet, come and take a seat. Would you like to see the news or any famous women's feet?
See,
There's
it's
no
zooming in
need to
more.
panic, this isn't a test. Just nod or shake your head and we'll do the rest.
All right, here we go. Now, this is something that I caught later. Like first, welcome to the internet. He's letting you know, like, hey, man, listen, whatever you think of, just type it in. It's right there, right? Second is after you get a little bit of time, it's gonna say, hey, would you like, I'm not sure, I don't really know you, but this may be something that you're interested in. But you might also want to see famous women's feet. And when you get that curveball thrown at you, a lot of times you're like, what? Back up. And he says, hey, there's no need to panic. And that laugh lets you know like he's afraid of losing you. So it's like there's no need to panic. This isn't a test. This isn't, you know, just nod or shake your head and we'll do the rest. Nod or shake your head, like or dislike, and then we'll do the rest. So this is the start of the algorithm, and it progresses like that throughout the music. So just keep watching.
Welcome to the internet. What would you prefer? Would you like to fight for civil rights or tweet a racial slur? Be happy, be horny, be bursting with rage. We got a million different ways to engage. Welcome to the internet. Put your cares aside. Here's a tip for straining pasta. Here's a 9-year-old who died. We got movies and doctors and fantasy sports and a bunch of colored pencil drawings of all the different characters in Harry Potter fucking each other.
Now, all right. So that right there, you hear the music build into a form of a crescendo. There's extra sounds and stuff. And honestly, if you watch the video, a lot of times you'll see him adding sounds, adding effects. But in this moment, you're hearing all of these extra sounds crashing into here, and it's like it's coming out of nowhere, but it's the distraction. So that's honestly what it is. It's the distraction so you don't get too caught up in what he says, which is why you say, it's like it's suggesting everything to you. Here's a tip for straining pasta. Here's a 9-year-old who died. Wait, but you hear cling, 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 and he says, he gets into all of these things, and then Even the end when he says there's what he says the whole different colored pencil drawing of Harry Potter characters fucking each other, and then he's rides right into it to the next welcome to the internet. I know I stopped it before that, but I'm gonna bring it back just a little bit. Yeah, fuck that up. All right, bring it back just a little bit. But even the run on, it's the distraction. It's like a person is telling you some bad news and you're trying to throw it in there without we did this, we did this, we did this, and I fucked your girl. Like that type of this is, and so he tries to, and that is the nuance that he is trying to show you how the internet is working. Like this is just crazy. So
Movies and doctors and fantasy sports and a bunch of colored pencil drawings of all the different characters in Harry Potter fucking each other. Welcome to the internet. Hold on to your socks, cause a random guy just kindly sent you photos of his cock. They are grainy and off-putting. He just sent you more. Don't act surprised, you know you like it, you whore. See a man beheaded, get
see that
offended, see
cut,
a shrink. Show us pictures of your children, tell us every thought you think.
and he
Start a
doesn't
rumor,
stop
buy a
looking at
boomer,
you.
send a death threat to a
Now
boomer,
this
or
is just
DM a girl and
weird.
rumor, do a zoomer, find a tumor in your. Here's a healthy breakfast option. You should kill your mom. Here's why women never fuck you. Here's how you can build a bomb. Which Power Ranger are you? Take this quirky quiz. Obama sent the immigrants to vaccinate your kids.
Now, I know that y'all thought that when I start talking like this whole zooming and everything is and him not taking his eyes off you was just complete bullshit. Like it don't mean anything. But this is the genius of Bo Burnham. He knows what he's doing. He's not taking his eyes off you. Even when the cuts, the zooms and the cuts are intrusive. He looks up and he's looking at you. He cuts down, he's looking at you. You go behind him, he turns to look at you. He Even when he says Obama sent the immigrants to vaccinate every no, you can't escape him because you're caught. You are in this internet right now. You are caught. So there is no escape from him. There's no escape. There's no getting out of it. And he is always watching you. The internet is always watching. And we literally went from the introduction to suggestions to preferences to the different types of recommendations. See a man get beheaded, get offended, see a shrink. And then it start telling you what to do. Show us pictures of your children. Tell us every thought you think. Like this is the shit that he's doing, right? Even when they start talking about the last welcome to the internet, when he says hold on to your socks, we even get to interaction between each other. And not even like the cool interaction of social media, the interaction of a random stranger kindly just sent you pictures of his cock. They are graining and off-putting. He just sent you more, right? And that part is like, yeah, it's very offensive. But then he says, don't act surprised, you know you like it, you whore. That's letting you know, like, man, you can always get off. You can just log out. You don't have to be here. You can just do that and end it all. But apparently you're still here, even after he just sent you multiple pictures of his cock. So you like it, you whore. That is what he's trying to say in that, like, even though you can't escape or you feel like you can't escape, there's a choice and you're not making that choice. So we get into all of these things. He's, it that all of these fake rages and everything. That is what he's telling you. And then he's like, and then we get to the course. So here we go.
Could I interest you in everything all of the time? A little bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything all of the time. Could I interest you in everything all of the time? A little bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything all of the time.
Now, Apathy is a tragedy and boredom is a crime. If you don't feel anything, it's tragic because the whole goal is to get you to react. And if you don't have an emotion to anything, you can't react off of anything. But boredom is a crime. You should always be stimulated. A lot of times, if you have apathy, there's boredom. People go on the internet to pass time. You use the internet when you're bored to actually get entertainment. So this is can I interest you in everything all of the time? We are in a world where everything is 24/7, everybody is interconnected. You do not have to look past your phone to see what's going on in Ukraine. You don't have to look past your phone to see what's going on down the block at Six Flags. You don't need to go past your phone to see how Paris is doing. You can check the weather. You probably got friends from across the world that you can just see what it is that they're doing. And a lot of times it's really bullshit, but because this is what we are to be stimulated, we try to become the stimuli. So, but so that's where we are. This is the internet, and we're not done. So, like you see the green lights because this is about to change. You see the green lights. You see the movements of the green lights. This is just random stars moving through in a form of chaos. Here we go.
You know, it wasn't always like this. Not very.
All right. Now, think about this. The entire first section, he's looking directly at the camera. This time he's off. His eyes, even though you can't see, you know the body language of a person reminiscing. And if it was a much simpler time and everything was perfect, the nostalgia is it's not it's not it's not looking at you. And we already know he's going back. He's reminiscing not very long ago. This is what he's doing. So now this guy who just introduced you to the internet and just gave you a list of things, commands, suggestions, stimuli, is taking a moment to be vulnerable to actually show a little bit of emotion more than what he showed in the beginning. And he now the focus isn't on getting you to be connected, but it's still about you. So we gonna go.
Long ago, just before your time, right before the towers fell, circa 99. This was catalogs, travel blogs, a chat room or two. We set our sights and spent our nights waiting for you, insatiable you. Mommy let you use her iPad.
All right, I'm sorry. I gotta stop right there. Now, he's did y'all see that? He said we set our sights and spent our nights waiting for you. And he gets that sense of bloodlust of you. Insatiable you. And for people that don't know what insatiable means, it means just not being able to be satisfied, to not get enough. And I'll even do it like this. Insatiable is of an appetite or desire impossible to satisfy. Having an insatiable appetite or desire for something, especially sex. That's the definition of insatiable. So think about it. The internet, people didn't know before 9/11, before the Patriot Act, and before all of that. People didn't utilize the internet like that. Like, people were buying McDonald's domain and then trying to sell it. And McDonald's like, what do we need it for around this time? Just imagine McDonald's not being on the internet. Y'all don't even go to McDonald's on the internet though. Let's be honest. But they sending everybody there to apply for jobs and all this other stuff that's going on. They giving out information, everything there. But 99, 2000, 01, McDonald's didn't give a fuck about no internet. A lot of people didn't give a fuck about internet, which is where it's all slow. Everything was slower, which is why he says this was catalogs and travel blogs. Like, this is what the internet was for. We had MapQuest. We went on the internet to find MapQuest. We had to find our directions before we had it all in our phones. And he was saying even back then, they were trying to figure out how to keep you locked in the entire time. We set our sights and spent our nights waiting. Predatory. They was planning for this. For you, your insatiable you. And he ain't even talking about me. I'm 37. He ain't talking about me. He tells you who he's talking about. Let's bring that back a little bit. All right? We're going to go.
You, insatiable you. Mommy let you use her iPad. You were barely 2, and it did all the things we designed it to do. Now look at you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Here we go.
Look at you. You unstoppable.
Oh, no. So yeah, I paused that. Hold on.
Now look at you.
Right. So here we go. Yeah, he wasn't talking about me. Honestly, if you were the kids that were 2 years old, think about this. If you were one of the kids that when you were young, 2 years old, and knew how to operate an iPad, I'm trying to see the first iPad. So the first iPad came out in 2010. All right, so let's look at that. First iPad came out in 2010. If you was 2, you're about 14 now. So you 2010, 2020, 2014, right? So you 2014, you're a teenager. You one of these young kids now that did not know anything about the world. Didn't know anything about choices, didn't know anything, and you were being molded by an iPad. You could barely talk, could barely hold full sentences, and yet you knew how to get to yo gabba gabba. And he did all the things that he designed it to do. And honestly, honestly, you might think that this is just me talking crazy, but this has been the stuff. All right, officially Ice, and I'm bringing it to this. Officially Ice, he broke it down. He says, "Man, listen, reason why people love iPhones is because of the ease of use. Like, you don't have to worry about certain things. Like if you worry about Android, you can add a whole bunch of different apps to Android. You download a virus, your shit is done. But if you do an iPad, you can't mess it up. It is impossible for you to really mess up because they designed it, they geared it to be for kids and senior citizens, so they just can't mess it up. Do you realize was one of the marketing tools that they use to make sure that it is so simple that a baby can use it? Don't know anything about the world, can't even read how to get to Yo Gabba Gabba, but you can get it shown a couple times, and 2 years old, you can actually get to it. Those are the people that they are gunning for. And I say gunning because honestly, it's not it ain't good. I mean, your whole life has been plugged into the internet. You're 2 years old and you got more internet time than you got reading time. This is the craziness of it. This is the insanity of normality, like, or the insanity of normalcy. Like, these things are normal. Don't nobody look at this like that, but is not normal. Like, honestly, internet is probably my age, 37. It is a hell of a lot younger when it was given to the masses. Shoot, Wi-Fi is barely 10. Well, no, Wi-Fi is probably what, 15 years old, 20 years old now. We went from 10 years of dial up to historical milestones technology wise, almost year after year. We went from pixelated. Think about this. It's been pixelated pictures. It used to take 40, 50, 60 minutes to download a picture. If the picture takes more than 2 seconds now, you think that you got too much, something wrong with your phone. This is where we are. But we don't mind it because it's convenient. Matter of fact, it's not even just convenient, it's the way of life. So, but here we go.
Look at you, you, unstoppable, watchable. Your time is now.
Your time is
Your
now.
insides out.
And your insides out.
Funny how you grew.
Your time is now. Your insides out. Think about it. 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 Do you think that he's saying? Because I know this sounds like this is a magical moment. This is a beautiful moment, right? But I really want you to think about it. Your time is now. Your insides out. That's a little bit graphic if you look at it in the literal sense. But it's the exact same thing that they've been saying to us when they want us to go and follow our dreams and stuff in all of these movies growing up as a kid. You know, your time is now. Makes you feel important. Makes you feel like you got meaning. Makes you feel like if you don't take this moment, you're going to lose it. So he's talking to a whole generation saying that the technology, the internet is saying that your time is now, making everybody feel important, which makes everybody feel like they have something to say, which makes them feel like they're the authority on what it is that they have to say, which makes them feel like their opinion is fact, which is how we get to where we are now when there's an era of consonants, uh, cognitive dissonance. That's the term that I like to use. It's cognitive dissonance. They see opinion, and then when they get things that are facts that contradict their opinions, you get violent, you get aggressive. Don't listen to it. You get less and less logical and more emotional. We're living in that now because everybody feels like what they're saying is important. And don't get me wrong, I'm on the internet right now talking about an interpretation of a music video that I can be completely wrong about, but I'm saying it like I know exactly what I'm talking about. I operate on the fact that I could be completely wrong. I haven't put up a lot of videos on YouTube because sometimes I feel like what I have to say isn't important. Like, I'm not one of the people that he's talking about. He's to he, he's talking about the Karens of the world. He's talking about all of these young kids who are forcing their voice. And don't get me wrong, it's great that a lot of kids and a lot of that's how revolution gets started. Eventually, they're gonna find something that everybody can agree on, and this generation is gonna be flipping tables and shit. But for right now, everybody just feels like what they're saying is important, and fuck what everybody else is saying because it's not important, or it's not as important as this. Now, I'm going back to the person that is on the internet is, hey, I'm just appreciating somebody's opinion, and I honestly want to give them his flowers because this is all the stuff that I took from it. So, and then I could be wrong. I'm not operating on fact. I'm operating on opinion. So this is where we are in our generation. I mean, not our generation, in the Zoomer generation, but that's who he's talking about. We are in the age of information, right? But who looks up information? Who looks up facts? Because based off of what he said in the beginning, yeah, you can look at the news, but you can start looking at when we're at famous women's feet. You're gonna see a man get beheaded, and you're gonna get offended to see it shrink. They want to tell you, want to post pictures of your children and tell them every thought you think. And then what happens is that the algorithm feeds off that and start feeding back to you the information that you like. Instead of hearing the difference and getting facts, you hear the opinions that you like and accept it as facts. So this is what he was at. And now he's talking and he's singing and he's, you know, in you're the unstoppable watchable and your time is now and your insides out. And you know that what you can feel comes out. Honey, how have you grew?
And if we stick together, who knows what we'll do?
Yeah, that's like the leech. Don't you know the guy that is always around, the guy that's the muscle or the star, and then he tries to make himself feel like he has value, or make the star feels like he has value, saying, "Hey, we got you here, and if we stick together, who knows what we'll do." You know, they're not offering you anything, but they want to let you know that this is a partnership. So yeah, here we go.
It was always
Hold
what
on.
we'll do.
Here we
Your
go.
time is now, your insides out. Honey, how you grew. And if we stick together, who knows what we'll do? It was always the plan to put the world in your hand.
You just heard how epic that sound? It was always the plan to put the world in your hand. That makes people feel like I'm destined for greatness. The world is in your hand. You can change the world. You can affect the world. This is in your hand. I mean, we even got to take it back to Christianity. He got the whole world in his hand. You starting to feel like a god with this in your hand. This is the what that's how epic that sounds. But I've seen the video, so all right. Now I'm just gonna bring it back just a little bit because I just want y'all to see that. Like I want to give y'all like the feel of it because I keep breaking it down and that takes it out. But check it.
Time is now, your insides out. Honey, how you grew. And if we stick together, who knows what we'll do. It was always the plan to put the world in your hand. Could I interest you in everything all of the time? A bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything all of the time. Could I interest you in everything all of the time? A little bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything and anything and everything and anything and everything and all of the time.
All right, all right, all right. If you just looked at that video and just thought to yourself that Darius, you fucked that up. Audi, you fucked that up. I implore you to just watch the video all the way through. Just keep things in mind of what I said. I mean, the angles. We literally, I mean, we can even go through this in the art in the moments of it. We break this down by seconds. Let's look at it down at the bottom. We get all of these intrusive cuts, right? And then it backs up because now you should be taken out by the weirdness of it, and then he zooms back out. But throughout the entire thing, he's like during the reminiscent phase. What happens? It's starting to zoom in. It zooms in. It zooms in. It zooms in. This is he's dragged you back in. Then it takes you back out because honestly, you should as the audience, as the crowd, should be a little bit offended by this, but you can't escape it. Which is why he's smiling and everything. Like he's not even looking at you this go around. Remember when I said in the beginning, he was like the first go around, he keeps his eyes on you. We get to the anything and everything all the time, and he is not looking at you. He is just basking in that. Just the can I interest you in everything all of the time? Because I already got you. The answer is yes. I don't even have to look at you to try to convince you. The answer is yes. And then you just look at the here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Uh, Look at his
Boredom is
eyes.
a crime. Anything and everything all of the time. Could I interest you in everything all of the time?
You see the lights in his eyes at that moment right there. Do you see that? You just get this sense of evil intent. And it goes. There you go again. Look at that. It's just this guy was genius. I don't even know if that was something that just was a happy coincidence because it just added the layer to it. But this is what he did. Bo Burnham is freaking amazing. I really, really, really like this guy. I followed him. I've always thought he was clever. but this is ingenious. This is I don't want to bring it to race, but if a black guy gave all this information this good, this clever, this on the nose, he'd be probably dating a white woman. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, this guy is he's talking from a sense of a perspective because in interviews he's been through this. This this dude, this man in this song, and I want y'all to just go watch it without my commentary. This guy captured the feeling of the internet. He captured the feeling of the internet. That's what this is. He gave you the history, and even in the history, you was like, "Dang, this is the internet." The coldness of going back, the algorithm not just suggesting but demanding what you should look at. Like this is what the internet is. I mean, it feels intrusive, but it feels comfortable. The music says, this is fast, as a non-stopping, but it's not dark. The lyrics are dark, but the music's not dark. And that goes into the music theory. He's a lot of the stuff that he's working with is in major chords, which is to make you feel like it's happy. Um yeah, all right, there's a lot of man, it was just amazing. So yeah, I gotta find a way to break this down because I know I got about an hour worth of information on this, but um check him out, Bo Burnham. He has a Netflix special called Inside where you can see this video and a bunch of other videos. Uh Actually, I think one of the ones that I have found that I couldn't relate to that actually turned out to be funny. White woman's Instagram. Part of that is because if you go on TikTok, you can actually see a white woman's Instagram. He literally called them out and it was amazing. But yeah, Bo Burnham, Inside on Netflix. Great watch.
The world is changing.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's comedy. Yep. But until next time, see y'all later. Love y'all. Peace out. Nobody told you, all those good things. All right. Bye.